Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And I was watching this interview yesterday, and it was very intriguing to me because you have someone like Gilbert Arenas, who was an NBA player, made multi-millions of dollars in his playing time, and Anton Daniels, which is a YouTube guy who I respect his business and the way he does his YouTube channel, and he gives a lot of gems and a lot of tools. Kwame Brown, another ex NBA ball player, overall number one overall draft pick back in the early to mid 2000s, and just a guy who has a solid mind from what I see online. And I was listening to this conversation, and it made me realize how NBA players, NFL players, MLB players, how a lot of these guys just make money, but they really have no business sense. Reminds me of a rapper from the hood who doesn't have any money and just signs away his rights to a deal because of whatever, because they don't have any money. Well, in the case of somebody like Gilbert Arenas, who was an NBA player who has made multi-millions of dollars, listening to this interview, I'm very, very surprised at what he did. And I'll let y'all listen just so you guys have an understanding of what this guy did. And let me know what y'all think in the comments if it makes any sense.
So what we got going on?
You asked where his studio was, and he answered. He said in Detroit, in his hometown, and then I'll let him answer anything else.
I asked him where his studio is?
Yes, this was Anton Daniels. When I made a reference to Anton Daniels, you said, where's his production? Where's his studio? And he answered your question.
Okay. So what we got going on? So,
well, now the conversation evolved into big bank take little bank, and he believed that you're a little bank.
He believes I'm a little bank?
You the little bank. I told him you probably got 100 million.
All right, so let's start it from the beginning. What was how did this start?
This started.
Okay, so let me tell you the story so you can actually understand the story.
Okay.
2000. I started a channel in 2018. Was no chill, the No Chill Deal show. I went to Fubo and I went to linear TV. So I wasn't using the channel anymore. Didn't use the channel. So the channel was dead for 5 years. Because I was on linear TV. So I went to Kwame when I was learning YouTube. I created a smaller channel to beef with him. So because my main channel was gone, I came up with a concept of battle. It was, what the fuck was it? Battle. Hold on, let me turn this off. Hold on.
Very
quick.
You should have turned it off.
Man, the Anton ain't come up here to hear you tell
No. So he can understand.
Big bank take little bank, nigga.
So I'm not okay. All right. So the channel that I had, I'm beefing with Kwame, which was a small channel. So I came to him because I had this channel that I wasn't using. Let's start a show together. It was a roast league. He told me basically off. I said, well, I got a roast league, got a poker, and then I got a basketball concept that we can use. Instead of going to Showtime, we can use this YouTube channel that I don't use. He basically told me off. So I went to a sponsor, which was Underdog, and said, hey, instead of going to Showtime, I got a platform we can use. We can go 50-50 partners. So I said, you guys build it. We have a channel that already has people on it because I needed infrastructure. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. So I said, you guys can build the infrastructure. We can split the concept 50-50.
What do you mean by infrastructure? I don't understand that.
That's what I didn't understand. What does this guy mean by infrastructure? Because if anybody can come on YouTube, get their cell phone or computer, laptop, and record a video and put it out into the ether or into the algorithm, there is no structure that you need. So I was confused by what he said when he first said that. get your iPhone, get your camera, and go ahead. And for people that don't have money, it's a perfect thing to do. The perfect thing to do is to just start with the iPhone, because we all have an iPhone.
I didn't have no infrastructure.
I did 70,000 in the chat from my iPhone 8.
You don't have a show, Kwame. You have that's your show. You're a used car salesman, whatever that is. That's not a show. Okay, so we don't need you to talk right now. So
it is a show. It's just not a high quality show as in regards to production, in what you're referencing.
I didn't have no infrastructure, meaning I only had.
Either way it go, I still had 70,000 people in my chat
Cool.
with iPhone 8 though, regardless of whether your personal opinion.
And what do you have?
I had 70,000 people in my chat with an iPhone 8.
And what do you have now?
You flagged my channel.
Again, what do you have now? What is this?
Oh man,
what is the substance of your channel?
We got to stop all this over talk. We got to stop all this over talking, bitch. Okay, we got to stop that first. You went on Vlad TV and you said you flagged my channel. So let's not pretend like you don't pay people to flag my channel, okay? So what I have now is I have people like you upset that I did 70,000 in my chat from an iPhone 8. These are facts. So I don't understand infrastructure. Neither does Anton. So answer the question and stop trying to make it personal back and forth between me and you. Why do you need infrastructure if a motherfucker can do 70,000 from an iPhone 8?
Right.
It's weird how you want me up here, but for some reason you need to keep bringing your personal to mute me. What?
Anton, you go ahead and talk to you. I'm not even in this conversation.
Thank you.
Let me preface this.
So I didn't have no cameras. I didn't know nothing about lighting. All I knew was a cell phone. I didn't know nothing about like webcam, StreamYard. I had to learn all of that because I only came to YouTube because I was beefing with him. So when I came up with the show idea of like ESPN style, because I'm learning as I go. So I had this channel. I know Matt Barnes. They got all the smoke, right? But they're on Showtime, so they have infrastructure. I got the knuckleheads. They have what was it? Players Tribune. They have infrastructure. So I didn't have nothing. I just had a concept, and then this channel where I had like 1,000 people on it.
What do you mean you don't have infrastructure? You're a multi-millionaire. You've made multi-millions of dollars in the NBA. I don't know what you have now, but let's just presume that he has multi-millions of dollars. You have the amount of money to hire a lawyer to basically run the game down to you. If not, there's plenty of people in the YouTube industry who would have taken your money willingly to teach you.
So I made the deal with them instead of.
And he has the money to purchase all the expensive equipment, all the expensive production team, all the expensive everything.
Oh, and
maintain 100% ownership of his company.
Like 1,000 people on it. So I made the deal with them instead of going with a platform. So instead of going with a platform and you're paying me $2,000 an episode, I made a deal with the sponsor themselves because I would have been on Showtime, and then Showtime would have had Underdog as the sponsor.
Why would you make a deal with anybody? Same thing with Cameron, Mace, all these Drink Champs, all these different podcasts with all these rappers and entertainers who already have a strong following and clout. Why would you sign any deal? You guys signed record label deals, got robbed and raped and tried and scraped just to get out of the deals. And then you get out of that sector of entertainment, jump into podcasts, and then sign deals with other companies. For what? Joe Budden is showing you that you don't even have to sign a deal with anybody. All you have to do is do the sponsorships. But this guy here is a straight Looney Tune. And not only him, it's a lot of other ball players, entertainers, rappers, actors, whoever you want to mention. They all have this mindset of being the talent, not being the owner. Here, you take what I produce, give me a couple dollars, and now it's yours. Why would we continue to think like this? After being up already, you already got millions of dollars.
So
You're not broke, so you don't need the money, but you're signing away all of your intellectual property for nothing.
I cut the middleman out and said,
Can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Can I stop you in between just to ask you a couple questions?
Yes.
All right. So because I went just purely based off of what you were explaining on your live stream, right?
Mhm.
When you say you needed the infrastructure, was the show already pitched? Because some people are saying that the show was pitched to Showtime or something like that.
Mhm.
And then you just cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. So that part, all right. So I got clarification on that. And then the other part, the other question that I have is, did you think that the show would be as big as it's going to be? And that's one of the reasons why you gave up equity into it.
No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know if it was going to be big or not.
Okay. I got you.
So,
Well,
you know
I
what I
mean,
mean? So,
that adds, that changes it a little bit for me. Because I almost think that if you would have known, and you can correct me, if you would have known what it was going to do, then you wouldn't have gave up the equity into it.
yeah, but it
Even
was.
if you didn't know what it was going to do, why would you give up any equity? You are a multi-millionaire. I'm not giving up any equity for anything, especially if I can fund everything. It's bewildering to me.
Then you wouldn't have gave up the equity into it.
Yeah, but it was. The reason I gave up equity is because. So I used to do this in the weed. So I started in the weed game, right? I was the landlord. What I would do is I will have one of these growers come in, right?
Wow.
They build the infrastructure, they build the system, right?
Mhm.
They build these elaborate systems. I let them get 2 crops in, and then I kick them out. Now I have the infrastructure, and then I take over the business. That was the same concept here. Let them come in here, build the studio, build all the equipment, do everything that's here.
Mhm.
We got 2 years. Once it's over with, I got the infrastructure. Now I can set up shop a professional style. At first, I didn't know how to do any of that. And all I knew is most people just had a camera. They walked around with the camera. They set it up tripod style, and then they just do that. I didn't want that. I didn't want that style. I wanted what Matt Barnes. I wanted that look, the Pat McAfee look. So the only way to do that was to convince the sponsor. And I said, hey, listen, instead of you paying me and then I shout out your underdog and we do all this, we can be 50-50 partners. So you have skin in this game to build the show the way it is. You can use this as a commercial, meaning you got shorts, you can put your logo on it, you can put it in the algorithm, you can put it on my Instagram page, you can do this. So you are doing better because now you have full control of your product. Right. So because you have full control of your product, that's how you're going to make your money. You get to push the FTDs, you get to do all of that in-house, and you don't need just to pay someone these like a Cameron and stuff like that. You don't have to pay them and then they do it and you don't like the product. You can fully control it.
Did you lose control though?
What do you mean?
Because you don't, based off of what you were saying, you don't get to determine how the show goes. You know what I'm saying? Because okay, the partnership, I get. You didn't really understand exactly how big the platform was going to get. I think you undersold yourself because you didn't realize how great you was as a content creator. Honestly, and I've given you props. I've always celebrated you and said that I think that you are incredible and that you got the #1 basketball show in the whole 9 yards. But at what point in this infrastructure deal did you give up the control to where you can't determine, hey, no, I'm executive producing this. I'm controlling my own IP. I determine how many times we stream. I determine how we want to add a football show. At what point did that part come in is what I'm.
He gave it up right away because he never read the contract to say, oh, this is what we're keeping, this is what we're giving away. They probably had it immediately, and he never even looked at the verbiage and understood that he gave it up right away. He probably understood that later once something came up, and then he was like, oh,
saying.
Yeah, okay. So I had 50% of both shows. So basically, any show I produce under No Chill Productions. So No Chill Production is what's 50-50. They don't have rights to Gilbert Arena. So this channel, anything I do with my name and likeness outside of No Chill Productions, I own 100%. So I'm not exclusive to doing deals, right, with other people. So I never really had control. I didn't want control of thumbnails and all that because I didn't really know about it. I didn't really care. Just you do what you need to do. I'll learn on the way when my contract is up, which is up in 10 months from now. I own all the equipment.
You get to keep everything.
So basically my deal is actually this. I own all the equipment. Now, when it comes to the show itself, remember, it's a concept.
Right.
It's not real. 50% is 50% is real if we sell it. Now, if I walk away, what do they have? They can't use Gil's Arena name. They can't use Gil's Arena crew. That's part of my deal. They can't use Skip Bayless and the crew. That's part of my deal. So that means they will have to start brand new with a whole different cast and everything. Meaning they will have to go somewhere else, get all new equipment, and get all new staff and talent to start up a basketball show and a football show. So it's nothing.
I understand what you're saying on that front. What I'm saying is, how is these able to take your name off of your channel, bro? That's your name.
No, okay. It wasn't them taking the name. I thought and felt this. I watched Matt Barnes, right? He had All the Smoke podcasts. Then he added, first he added Kevin Garnett.
Right.
So the Kevin Garnett show is under All the Smoke podcasts. So there's no Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, nothing. You're hidden under someone else, right? And then they added Rachel Nichols, hidden under someone else. So I was like, well, these two got hidden, but they're all individuals. I'm one person. I got a football and basketball. But if I had the Gil's Arena page, but the football show get lost. So I was thinking build a network. So it's basically like the page is ESPN, and then there's Gil's Arena, and then there's Gridiron. The football show.
That's what I thought that you did initially when I first seen the name change. But here's the thing, Gil. On the live stream, you said that when you got arrested, that's when they took the name from you because your name was no longer good in their eyes when it comes to promoting the product and being aligned with the brand.
Yes, that's what I said.
So,
but now you saying something different is what I'm saying.
Right.
You saying that was always the play for you to rebrand, for the brand to live on its own, basically. But then that's the thing that I had a problem with is, wait a minute. I thought, because honestly, from a business perspective, I looked at you as a genius. I'm like, oh shit, you really turning into a whole network.
Anton, come on now, stop lying.
No, seriously, this is honest to God truth. This on everything, on my father's grave. I said, Gil is a genius. He about to take on all of these other ESPNs and all of this other shit, and he don't need nobody to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like from a content creation perspective, how you built the brand, how you put your homies on and shit like that. I salute you, and again, I think that you're great. But then
I'll tell you what, let's put some clarity on it. Now that we know he don't own, but 50% Underdog put them other people on. Well, we got to give them a shout out too. Let's give Underdog a salute too.
Here's my thing. Because I look at you as such a great businessman and as a great content creator, my expectation of you is higher. Because I don't look at you. I know you a contributor on the show, but I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't look at you in the same vein that I look at the rest of the niggas that's on the show. Because you the brain, right? You the brain. Without you, none of them other niggas exist in my mind.
I disagree.
It's plenty of niggas that start a basketball podcast that ain't popping at all. That shit is trash. Let's just keep it 100. So
and without me, Gil don't exist.
So here's the thing. It's like No, man.
It's the other way around, Kwame.
That's what you said, Gil. That's what you
Wait,
said.
Antoine, let me check him real quick. Kwame Brown.
That's what you said, bro.
So I'm not going to continue to let this play out, but the fact of and what I'm looking at is this guy basically signed away his intellectual property. He signed over his show, 50-50 partnership of his, basically who he is, his likeness, for them to be the production, them to fund the actual transaction. And he doesn't put any of his money up. My thing is, I would have put all my money up. I would have funded the production, the cameras, everything that had the concept. I would have done that, brought in some experts and did it like a subcontracting job. You guys are experienced in this. All right, I need your experience here. I'm going to pay you for this. I'm not going to go and get this particular group of people so they can get 50% of my company, and they can. It's not going to work like that, especially when I have the money. If I'm a multi-millionaire, there's no way in the world I would give up any ownership unless someone was buying into what I'm doing. But all they're doing is funding the deal, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you know what? It's a lot of ball play. I can see why these guys go broke. I can see why 5 years after they retire, they're filing bankrupt. They have no money, and they're somewhere looking sick in the face and having to take on all types of odds and end jobs. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And he is a prime example of someone who made a lot of money in the NBA and came around to say that he gave up half ownership of his company. And now that he's going under scrutiny because of some gambling thing or poker tournament, illegal poker stuff, now they have made him change the name of his channel to something different from I don't even know. It's just sickening to me. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water.